Okay, let's check out how the movies from Friday did. Chainsaw Man came in first. 18 million, not bad. Regretting You, 12 million, dropped to second place. The Springsteen movie dropped to fourth place with $9 million. And then Blue Moon dropped all the way down to, they got rid of it. They said, hey, get that movie out of here. $655,000. Wow. That one will probably turn out to be a good movie later on. But out of all of these movies, one battle after another is doing the best. 2.5 hours, though, and it's still doing good. It must have more stuff in it than one of these. That's what I was thinking, like Springsteen. I don't know if he's popular right now, but this movie, yes, one battle after another dropped to 8th place, but it has made the most so far. The Conjuring Last Rites did pretty well, though. See, because this has a thing going on. What if they did a documentary or whatever, a biography like this for Springsteen, a biopic? Why don't they do like a Springsteen trilogy? And they do maybe they make up 2 of the first movies, and this one is the real one, and it's the third one. So theoretically, it would be like the first one it could be real or fake, and then but it's the first one, and then you have to see the second one, and then the third one is this one, the real movie. But it would be like in hopes of making this third movie the best one. Like you saw the first 2, and then this one would, they would like it to make 50 million. So if they had made this like a trilogy and this is the third one, I feel like the people from the first 2 will be like, hey, let's go see this one, and would wrap up the trilogy. But they'd never do that. But a Springsteen, an Ozzy Osbourne documentary, and then it's like a trilogy or something. We can check some reviews for this movie. 219 reviews. The first one, it's 10 out of 10 stars. 10 out of 10, fantastic. 8 out of 10, the beautiful brutality of Chainsaw Man, Reze arc. It's a cinematic tour de force that elevates the source material with breathtaking artistry. The animation is not merely fluid, it's thematically charged. A stark visual juxtaposition between the soft, romantic lighting of intimate cafe scenes and the chaotic, brutal energy of its fights perfectly mirrors the narrative's core conflict, the painful duality of love and violence. 10 out of 10. Is this really Chainsaw Man? I've always enjoyed Chainsaw Man, considering it's just another anime that appealed to me mainly because I identified with its protagonist. However, upon watching this film, I was completely taken by surprise. I expected violence, chaos, and the usual Chainsaw Man atmosphere, yet what I witnessed was one of the most remarkable cinematic experiences of my life. The contrast with the first season is striking, not because the anime is bad, but because this film reaches an entirely new artistic level. Okay. 10 out of 10, interesting love story. 10 out of 10, peak cinema. 10 out of 10, first movie adaptation is a success. 10 out of 10, peak cinema. 7 out of 10, for the fans of manga, that's how to make a sequel movie. Oh, so this is a sequel. An amazing visual and audio delight. If Michael Bay directed an anime movie, wow, it's like super chaotic. I absolutely love this movie, so its pace may turn people off. Oh, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Well, a lot of people gave it high rating, that's for sure. Okay, the next movie we can read some reviews for is Regretting You. 41 reviews. Interesting. 5 out of 10 stars. Fantastic and horrible. This is one of those films that are impossible to rate. I want to give it 1 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10 at the same time. The film plays on so many notes and crams in so much plot that no character development is believable. The result is a superficial and pretentious piece of overly sentimental work. Nothing works in this film the way the filmmakers intended to, but that's why I loved it so much. I haven't laughed so hard since watching Apartment 1303, a horror film that does the exact same thing as this film. Just watch how a caricatured Dave Franco goes from the largest and most unbelievable smile to a very serious face while physically proclaiming his love for another person in a scene where everything is off. That's weird. 6 out of 10. Cool concept, poor execution. I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. I love the actors and the acting. The screenplay and cinematography was stunning, but the direction and editing seemed so off and choppy. There was no flow or depth to the movie despite the base plot being deep and filled with emotion. I didn't read the book, but oh well, this movie makes me never want to read it. My rating is for the cast and not the movie, really. The writers should come out and be like, hey, we're really sorry, you know, of the book. You know, if the studio was like, hey, we need you to print 500 more copies of the book because either it's guaranteed or on the chance that the movie does well, people are going to want to go see the original story that the movie's based off of. And now I think it's just been ruined. They're like, hey, buy those 500 books because people are going to buy them after this movie comes out. And then now this person says, I'm not going to buy the book. That's not good. The author should come out and make a statement and be, or even, why don't they run the movie by him? Maybe it was good, or the studio, you know, had more power. Whatever. The author couldn't do anything. Because it's like, the guy should come out and be like, oh no, this ruins my book. Don't put this out, you know? Because that guy would have sold another book, right? And now he just lost a sale because of this movie, because of Hollywood, you know? But next one is 6 out of 10 stars. Early Naughties drama. Early Naughties. I don't know what that means. After the tragic passing of her aunt and dad, Clara is in a dark place, and it seems her only source of light is a boy named Miller. Clara's mom, Morgan, is distraught, especially when things are not what they seem in the accident. Oh, her sister's boyfriend, Jonah, has some secrets himself. It's all about to come crush on everyone. Oh, wait, so somebody's involved, right? Maybe. 7 out of 10 stars for anyone who loves a cry, a hug, and a pretty frame. Okay, full disclosure, I know full well I'm so biased on this one, but I really enjoyed Regretting You. From the moment the first frame rolled, I was drawn in. Visually, it's gorgeous. The leads are absolutely stunning, and yes, my heartstrings were tugged. Any film that gets a tear out of me instantly gets a higher rating in my book. Oh, see, I've read the book, so there was extra nostalgia and expectation baked in. The film adaptation always doesn't dig as deep as one might hope. Some characters' arcs feel glossed over. Some of the emotional beats just skim the surface. Sounds like you should just read the book. Honestly, I wonder if you could have ChatGPT read a book and then make it into a movie, like a direct transfer, like, and not change anything. 7 out of 10 stars, more rom-com than drama. Oh. 7 out of 10 when love and loss collide, a tender family drama with modern realism. Or check some 1 stars for the movie. Regretting You, more like regretting watching it. Oh my god. 1 out of 10, yes, I do regret watching you. This is a very terrible movie, from movie plot to acting to everything you want, you name it. I wasted lots of loyalty points and my time to watch this nonsense of a movie. Please skip it. Don't trust your friends. It's good. 1 out of 10 stars. Had high hopes. It was a hot mess. I really wanted to like this movie. I had high hopes. But the story's all over the place. It jumps between different storylines with no real flow, and none of it makes sense. It honestly feels like the director wanted to say something emotional, but had no idea how. So it just mixed everything together in a mess. Wow. That's it? Oh, there's not that many low ratings, though. 3 low ratings. And how many 10 stars? 9 10-star ratings. So it's not bad, but how many people have read the book? See? If it's usually like, there's movies that are good adaptations, and people, like, it sounds like this isn't one of those good adaptations, you know, like, they adapted it in a wrong way, and they could have run it. Why don't they send the script to people who read the book and be like, hey, you read the book, would you want to see this script on the screen? The author, everyone would still love the author, but we already know that Hollywood does this. It's so sad that they just do it again and just ruin another author's book that he spent so long writing. The next movie is the Springsteen movie, Deliver Me From Nowhere. 86 reviews. We'll check the 10-star reviews first. 10 stars, 10 out of 10, amazing. I didn't expect this movie to be so emotional. I cried multiple times, and you could feel so much emotion in the characters. It was intense. Jeremy Allen White is an absolutely masterpiece, and his manager and his relationship was so special. Best film, Jeremy's excellent in this film, brings out the best in him. 10 out of 10, misunderstood. Brilliant, sensitive exploration of the process of creation. Springsteen's coming to terms with his past and his sense of depression are thoughtfully presented. Jeremy White is absolutely brilliant, deserving of an Oscar. and support players are equally impressive. All those 1 rating, sorry folks, this is not the Boston concert film. Check a review before you head in next time. 10 out of 10, beautiful and poignant film. 10 out of 10, a beautiful and poignant film. 10 out of 10, if you go in knowing it's not a standard biopic, you will appreciate the beauty of it. I see a lot of casual film goers or pedestrian Bruce fans are upset that this film isn't what they anticipated. If you go in with the understanding that this isn't a formulaic biopic about a musician, but instead a deeply emotional story about a specific and brief time in Springsteen's career where he bucks convention expectations to create the art that he feels he needs to, then you would see it for what it is, a drama with some great musical moments. Well, wouldn't that be the marketing? They should have said, not, a quote, not your standard biopic or something, or focusing on a very special and intense moment in Springsteen's life. This movie, is a musical movie, whatever. But it like that, sell it as basically being, here's a moment in this guy's life, rather than like a confusing biopic that people seemingly are expecting. 10 out of 10 brought me to tears. Let's see now some one-star reviews. 1 out of 10. He's not there. In 2007, Todd Haynes made a biopic, or maybe let's call it a rumination into the life of Bob Dylan. I don't think that's a complete unknown. He had 6 different actors play Dylan at different stages. Oh, imagine this. Musical and societal moments in the artist's career. He called the film I'm Not There. Wow. He had 6 different actors playing Bob Dylan in different stages. Holy crap. Oddly, that title could be the defining review of Cooper's film. The Boss is simply not there. Springsteen is great. Nebraska is greater. Deliver Me from Nowhere, not so much. The character, despite his depressive introspection, is beyond taciturn. I never heard that word. Tight-lipped throughout. He stares at the ceiling, stares at windows, stares into the middle distance, stares at the horizon, all intercut with a dour, one-note memory of his childhood and stillborn present tense relationship that wants to scream, cover me, but doesn't utter a solid sound. Guys, this guy needs to cut down on the words. That's it? 1 bad review? That's all reviews? What about 5? 5? Wow. Not for the average fan. For Springsteen fans only, but even their expectations are, being changed. They thought it was something else. Well, that's contributing to this movie's failure then. The last movie is Blue Moon. 13 reviews. Let's check the 10-star reviews first. Not for all tastes, but I love this picture. I just saw Blue Moon as part of the Philadelphia Film Festival, and I was very impressed. However much I love the film, I do realize it's not a crowd pleaser, as the film is about a long dead and mostly forgotten lyricist, Lorenz Hart. I am familiar with Hart's life and work. This is probably why I love the movie. The movie is set 6 months after Hart's early death at age 48. Wow. Hart is at the theater seeing the opening of Roger and Hammerstein's Oklahoma. But Hart leaves just after it starts as he thinks the place stinks, but knows it will be a huge hit. The reason he came at all is that Rogers has his writing partner for many years, and only recently did Rogers team up with Hammerstein. 10 out of 10 stars, perfectly paced, a fabulous character cameo. Cool. 10 out of 10, so powerful, so incredibly powerful, and that is all the reviews. No reviews. So supposedly everybody liked the movie. Talking Simulator. Could have been perfect if you're already a fan. Dialogue-driven, witty, and charming. Not for all tastes. Loved it. A perverted old man rambles at a bar for 2 hours. Ethan had a great performance and tried his best to carry this movie with character alone. There are some funny, crude jokes throughout and some good dialogue, but what little plot there is fails to keep your imagination interested till the end. It has an anti-hero with an anti-plot. Which just doesn't seem to work. It explored his flaws and character well, but pretty much ignored his talents. If I were Larry watching this, I'd be embarrassed, really. Without a love of my own, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, great one-setting movie. Blue Moon is a biographical comedy drama movie directed by Richard Linklater, and it follows the songwriter who reflects on himself on the opening night of Oklahoma, a new musical by his former colleague. This is a movie that I had my eye on for a while because of Richard Linklater, and the movie was really good. Positives, I like the initial setup and premise of the movie taking place in one setting and having characters talk about stuff. I also like the costume design, makeup, the acting from the cast is really good. The pacing is really good, and it feels like the movie's taking its time with storytelling. Finally, the old school music is really good. Negatives, aside from seeing these characters talk about music, nothing else really happens. I did enjoy seeing these people talk, but it was just that for 100 minutes. I also didn't see this movie work for casual audience at all, and finally I was waiting for something big to happen, and nothing happens. Overall, Blue Moon is a great movie that will be enjoyed by fans of Richard Linklater, but casual fans will have a hard time getting invested, which is fine because this movie isn't for them. I would recommend this if you're a fan of Richard Linklater and the story. Perfectly paced, a fabulous character cameo. Yeah, look at this. Great. Oh, wait. The negatives. Yeah, nothing really happens, right? And over here, a perfectly paced film. This has to be fake. Like, a viewer is going to be like, wow, it seemed boring. And if it's a computer, they're just going to go based off of like, I don't know, fake review, or just they're going to make it up something positive. Like the AI doesn't know what a movie is. And that is all the movies that came out on Friday.